Hello, everyone. Hello. Greetings, Dr. Garrett here. Just going to let people jump on here for day one of Mind to Matter. Change your mind, create your life. And so we're going to let people hop on here, give a little bit of a moment to do that. It's a beautiful day here in Vancouver. Gorgeous, just been gorgeous. Super excited for today. Super excited to share what I'm going to share with you today. I had an absolutely amazing meditation prior to doing this. And I've, over these last few years, I've really started to, embrace my meditations and use them as a means to really connect with that, that source, with that energy that, really creates. And so I just had a real wonderful feeling today about what we're going to share. We're going to have fun. I'm going to enjoy myself. Hopefully you guys are going to get so much out of this. This is going to, be your first step into changing and transforming your life from where you are to really where you want to be, the dreams that you want. And, that's really your God-given right, is to enjoy that. And so I'm going to share with you a bunch of stuff today, but before we go here, just make sure that everything is working. If anyone, is joining me here live, please say hi. Tell me where you're from. I really love to know where you're coming in from. I'm going to try and follow this on Facebook to see the comments. Comment hi, say hi. You should come in on this for sure. If you're going to watch the replay, little comment while you're watching, #replay, so I can connect with you there. Treat it as if you're coming here live, and you'll get a ton out of this. On that note, what you put into this is what you're going to get out. Hey Ryan, great to have you here, man. Great to have you here. It's your time, man. It's what you put in that really allows you to get what you can get out of this. I'll share with you that the number one difficulty I had in the past was I accumulated information really well. I loved that. And it wasn't until I embodied it, until I applied it to my life, I took action. Oh, Carolyn, good to see you. Good to have you here. You've done amazing things with this information. So congratulations. Awesome having you here, showing up for yourself and just getting, into the work and staying in the energy. That's what this is about too. It's about the energy because, nothing changes unless we change our energy. And we're going to talk all about that, a little bit of quantum physics. So we're going to have fun. So what you put in, you get out. So, Ryan and Carolyn are here live and they're commenting and they're interacting, and that gets more of them involved in this. It connects them, to the energy. So connect, do everything you can to get the most out of this. So make sure that you have a pen and a paper so that you can take a ton of notes, because I'm going to share with you so much information. But it's not just about information. You're going to be doing homework and applying this information right away so you can start seeing the changes instantaneously. So make sure you got, your notepad, your drink of choice. I got my water, as I start the healthy habits in order to achieve a goal I'm looking to achieve. But whatever your drink is of choice, get that in here. Get comfortable. You're showing up for you. Turn your phone off. Unless you're watching it on your phone, definitely stay on your phone. I'm here to have fun too. This is about having fun. A really big value in my life is to have fun and enjoy life. Life should be, easy. It should be simple. It should be joyous. It shouldn't be stressful and hard. And so we're going to talk about that too. So, over these next few days, I am going to talk to you about how you can use your mind, how you can use your thoughts to create your reality, how you can use your mind instead of letting it work against you, how you can start using it for you. Most of us don't understand this information. I know I didn't, and it wasn't until I understood how I had the technology I like to call it, in my mind, the bio hardware to be able to create any life I wanted, but I didn't understand until I applied this information. So I'm going to explain to you how you can benefit using your mind in order to create the reality, and how it's possible to get anything you want. And it may be hard for a lot of you to believe that, because you've struggled, and that struggle, that sense of wanting something more, or that little voice deep inside of you. This is what got me into this work, was that I knew there had to be more to this thing called life than what I was experiencing and what I was feeling. And that brought me to this work. It brought me to Bob, really. And I'm going to share a little bit of my story with you, so that you can get a sense of, if it works for me, how it would work for you, the similarities, the things you can resonate with. Because the first thing you have to do in this work is to recognize that you're here for a reason. Something brought you here. Something got you in my energy and attracted me into your life. And I really love the idea of me never coming into forcing my way into someone's life. I never come into someone's life unless I'm invited. And when I'm invited, I put my heart and soul into it. I tell the truth. I share the truth. I speak beyond your limiting beliefs, because you are unlimited. You have unlimited potential to experience that life of your dreams. And I've been in places where I just didn't see the light. But I have to tell you that once you understand how you were designed as a human to live the life of your dreams, you'll be able to apply it just as I did, and the changes are profound. So this isn't just going to be me a talking head either. I mean, you're going to get some information here, and it's part of the process of change and transformation, is to gather some knowledge, is to get some understanding. And as the infamous Dr. Joe Dispenza, once you know the what and the why, the how gets easier. And that was really paramount in my life, because I was an intellect. I was an accumulator of information. I was really analytical, and so I loved the information. And really that awareness, that understanding of me being that way helped me realize that I needed to change. That it wasn't about just the accumulation of information that was going to help, but I had to apply that too. So some of you might be here because you are, intellects and analytical, and you love this information. And I assure you that, accumulation of more information is not the path to seeing change and transformation. It's embodying that information, embodying it spiritually, energetically, and then taking action from that place. We're going to talk about that when we talk about the creation. We're going to go deep over these next 3 days. Going to go really deep. I'm going to take you to places that you probably haven't heard. I'm going to debunk a bunch of myths. I'm going to talk about things that are going to, in my mind, they used to be very foo-foo and out in the ethereal world where it was just, that can't be true. And I've always said this, if you talk to some of my colleagues that were at Chiropractic College when I was studying, would say, Garrett's talking about what? Energy and frequency, and his thoughts creating reality, and healing by thought alone, and things like this. It was unheard of back then, but I now believe in such a deeper understanding of existence in this universe. So I'm going to share a lot of that with you. I also want to honor your time. I want to keep this as close to an hour as I can. I do get a little wordy, so forgive me, but sometimes I get, the downloads, things come to me where I speak just what comes to my mind. And that's really what these are going to be like. I am going to speak from my mind. I'm going to speak from the unknown. And so you're going to get everything you can out of this. So I'll keep it as close as I can to that. Last thing I want to say, I am absolutely honored and grateful that you are here, that you have taken this time out of your busy days and busy schedules. You need to honor that as well, and be grateful, and recognize that you are a step closer. You're a step closer to enjoying the life that you've always wanted, of breaking free of the limiting, behavior, or the limiting beliefs in your life. You're going to break free from those results that are just seem to be on a hamster wheel and don't seem to be changing. So something like that has brought you here. I think most of us show up here from a place of lack, from a place of wanting. And so I'm going to shift your energy, because we need to shift your energy to a slightly different model. So you start to focus on the things you do want, and we take your attention off what you don't want, because where your attention goes, energy flows, and where your energy is where you can create from. So I'm going to help you understand how you can do that. So thank you for joining me. You guys are amazing. You're awesome. You're totally capable of all of this information. I want to share with you, to start off, that you already know how to do this. You already know how to change and transform and go after big things, because you've done it in your life. You've just done it unconsciously. And we're going to bring some consciousness, some understanding to it, so you can actually apply it again in your life towards the things you do want, rather than recreating the things you don't want. So if everybody's excited, give me a thumbs up. Let's get going. Let's get moving on this, and let's get into the juice. If you have questions, feel free to post them. If I see them here and I can address them, I will. If I don't get to them here, I will get to them afterwards. So please, ask the questions here. But I really do want to concentrate on the information. So if I don't get to the question, I'll get to it afterwards. Okay, so let me share a little bit of my story with you, and what got me into this. And it's going to be brief. I'm going to speak quickly, just because I want to take most of this time to share the information with you. But I'm telling you this information because I want you to be able to relate with what I went through. So you can look at this and go, wow, if he did it, I could do it. And really, the truth is I was in a place that I would call the average, the monotony of life. I was in a place where I'd accomplished a lot of things. I'd been a pro soccer player, a chiropractor, entrepreneur, father, husband, wrote a book, did a lot of these things. And I was just feeling a little bit empty, like there was more to this. I didn't understand why I wasn't, in this blissful state. And so I remember my life kind of started to take a turn as I looked for the next thing to make me, quote unquote, happy and fulfilled and successful and worthy. So I looked for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And I kept doing more and more, thinking that I was going to get what I wanted out of achieving more, working harder, longer, doing all sorts of different things, looking for a sense of energy and excitement in all different places. And as my life started to, let's call it disintegrate, let's call it just kind of get, there's got to be more to this life than what I'm experiencing, feeling. And that's when I realized I'd kind of hit a place in my life. I was going through a separation where I was like, pro athlete, entrepreneur, valedictorian of my chiropractic class, doctor, father, like these are all the things society tells us and conditions us to achieve. And then that way we're going to be really happy and joyful. And I realized I really wasn't. I was grateful. Like I really was. I appreciated what I had accomplished, but I just didn't feel happy. And I realized out of all those things, lots of people go for those things. And there's lots of people doing those things that are really happy and fulfilled. And I realized in that moment that I was the common denominator of all those things. And so maybe it wasn't the things, maybe it was me. Maybe there was something I didn't understand. And that was the profound moment in my place when I realized, oh my gosh, I am the problem. But with that awareness, right, with that consciousness, with that understanding, I realized I was also the solution. Because if I'm the problem, I got to be the solution by the law of polarity. So I started reading and I ended up in books after book and I couldn't stop putting these books down. Hey, Nathan, great having you here, my buddy, my friend, showing up for yourself. I started to read and I started to understand, holy cow, like there's a whole nother part of this thing being human that I just don't understand. And so I kept reading. I couldn't stop reading. There was the gaining of the intellect and my life marginally changed. It did. It improved. Why? Because I was getting excited again. I started to focus on things I did want. But then things started to kind of slow down again. And I started to go, well, like, I've got all this information. Why isn't my life changing the way it says in these books? And I realized in that moment that I was like, oh my gosh, I need to take action. I got to get in the community, the frequency of this stuff. And so that's when Bob showed up in my life. That's when he came into my life. He was reading his book, You're Born Rich. Fantastic book. And it shifted my focus. A book you'd think is all about money, but it wasn't. It was all about what we're going to talk about these next 3 days. But he asked a simple question, and it really hit me hard, deep to the core. And it said, I want you to write out the cost of the life of your dreams. And so I was excited. So I wrote out all the things that I want in my life, boats, cars, and houses, and all these other things. And and then I put costs beside them, and the number that came out, he goes, now add that all up of what it's going to cost per month. And it was a big number. I'm like, wow. And I'm like, that's cool. And then I realized, because his next statement was, now, if that's what you're earning at this moment, don't change a thing. You're living your dream life. But if not, change your life, because you're living a life you think you can live, or you're living a life other people can think you should live. And in that moment, I realized that if I keep doing what I'm doing, I am going to die. I'm going to be on my deathbed, not having achieved or experienced my dream life. And that was the pivotal change. Got to the end of his book, and there was an opportunity to go to one of his big events. I went to them, and it changed my life. I had so many limiting beliefs around personal and professional growth. These guys are snake oil salesmen. These people just get you doing things, and they take your money and stuff like that. I went there, and it couldn't have been a more different experience. It was amazing. A lot of these people were just like me. Some of them had even less, but some had a lot more. There were billionaires and millionaires in the audience, and I was like, why are they here? And when I started talking to them, they were the nicest people. They were offering anything I needed, anything I wanted, understanding, strategies. And I realized they were living in a different frequency, a different level of consciousness and awareness, and one that felt so good. I came out of there feeling amazing. I came out of there so pumped. I wanted to teach the information. I wanted to go after it. Got in life, things kind of fizzled again. And then I did a deep dive into Bob's program, his signature program, and that's when my life changed. And I went from just feeling like there was more to life to experiencing the bliss of what life was always all about. My income rose, my business flourished. We purchased a cottage on a lake. I got a boat, I got the car of my dreams. Like, I met the woman of my dreams. And I get emotional, because it's like, without that information, it makes me, and this happens in my life when I find information that is more truth. It's like, why don't we all know this? I went to school, I knew none of this. And it really got me emotionally attached and emotionally involved in the idea of really wanting to help people experience what I did. And that's why I'm here. So I am confident now that from the experiences I've had and the things that I've done in my life, that any one of you can achieve the exact same things, no matter where you are, right? And I truly believe when you're in the dark night of the soul, it doesn't seem like it can get any lower, and you're just in the dumps. It's like, that is time to change. That is a catalyst. It's a moment where you need to make a committed decision. We're going to talk about decision. That's the third day. It's such an immense emotion. And I made that decision that I was going to put me first. I thought that putting me first was selfish, that I had to put everyone else first. And I did that for so many years, and that's partly why I ended up where I did. Once I put me first, I realized when I put me first, I put everyone else first. Then I'm true to everybody. I'm honest. I'm open. I can say no, say yes, feel good. And that's what I want for all of you. So my life has changed dramatically, and I know, I have full faith, I have a knowing that it can do the same for you. So that's what we're going to talk about today. That's what you can experience today, and you can start that right now. So I really couldn't be more grateful. I couldn't be more happy I couldn't be more healthy. I couldn't have better relationships. I just feel like I've got everything I've ever wanted, and things are just going greater and greater. I've got big goals now. I've got big ones, and I have to tell you, everything I'm going to talk about today is stuff that, whether you're a millionaire, billionaire, whether you're the healthiest individual or having the most amazing relationships, you can always go to a higher level of consciousness where things are deeper, right? Where you have a higher level of health, a higher level of wealth and fulfillment and service and giving. And that's the reality of this. It's about continually moving forward. So I want you to understand and recognize that you are here for a reason. Okay? You are here. You're watching this for a reason. You've been brought here for a reason. And that's because you're attracting this into your life. You are in a place where you're attracting this because this is what you need in order to make change in your life. Okay? If you're thinking of anybody else that might benefit from this type of thing, share it with them. That's getting into the spirit of this work and the energy of this work. Share it with them, right? Because when you share it with them, you're giving more and you receive more back. So share little things. If someone comes to your mind, just send them a message and tell them what you're doing and tell them you want them to join you. Okay, that's enough about me. I just wanted to let you know that because some of that might resonate with you. It gives you an understanding of how much this work changed my life, made me what I am now, and what continues to make me grow. And might help you understand that if I can do it, you can do it. I'm no different than you. I'm just a human. I'm just a person. If someone stood us up together, they couldn't tell you who's the happier one, who's the richer one, who's the healthier one, just by what standing there. So it means we're all the same. We got all the same hardware, right? It's the software programming that you have to Control Alt Delete and reset. And that's what we're going to do over these few days. So where do we start? Well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make an assumption. I'm going to make an assumption that most of you believe that your thoughts have something to do with your reality. That how you think creates the life that you live, creates the results in your life. Now, the provocative thing about all that is it creates the good and the bad. And it's only our judgment of good or bad that creates good or bad. So you're going to learn to change the dialogue of failure, of judgments of good and bad, because they're nothing more than just a report card. It's showing you where your mindset is. So you look to your results in order to know where your mind is. So all your life is it gives you a reflection of what's going on in your mind. But we're going to start with your beliefs. So you can't outperform your belief system. So if you don't believe that your thoughts have anything to do with your reality, then really this information is not for you. But if you could, if there's a part of you that believes that, if I could think in a different way, it may shift my reality, then you are in the right place. So I used to believe in my life that I had to work harder to achieve more. I had to work harder to increase my income and my wealth. I had to work harder at my health, in the gym, in the kitchen. I believed I had to work harder to be happier. So that was my belief, and I believed I needed to know everything. I needed to accumulate more information, as I was saying earlier. I believed I had to learn more before I could do more, before I could accomplish more. I believed that, being a doctor would mean a higher income and a better life and a freer life. And what I realized as I started to understand this was that these beliefs were limiting me to a certain lifestyle, to a certain results in my life. In other words, if I didn't work harder, I wasn't going to earn more income. So I worked hours. 12, 15 hours. I'd come home and do a second job, create more, to try and create more wealth. And so those beliefs, you can't outperform those belief system. So you need to ask yourself, what do you believe? What do you believe? What is a limiting belief you have that's holding you back? So you want to investigate some of these beliefs, because if you can't outperform them and you're believing in a limited way, then you're going to stay where you are and you're going to stay stuck. So we are going to work on changing that belief system. Now, what is a belief? How are they created? Well, they're both created genetically. Believe it or not, what your parents raise you with will start you down that pathway of believing certain things. But a belief is nothing more than something you've heard over and over again, something you've told yourself over and over again, until it's become a hardened fact in your mind. So it's just a repeated affirmation that you've taken to heart, that you believe. And there might even be evidence of that in your life. Oh, my beautiful fiance has joined us. Hi, babe. And so it's something you tell yourself over and over again, and you've just accepted it. Something, in your early childhood, when you don't have a conscious faculty and ability to reason or think, your subconscious programming is opened, and your parents. So where do beliefs come from? Your parents, your coaches, your teachers, things they tell you on repeat. That's why we talk about childhood traumas, because some children are told things that are just, short of disgusting when you think of this work. When you understand this work, you will start treating your children differently, because you realize that they're being programmed with what you're telling them, because they don't have the ability to reject anything in their early childhood, and it goes straight into their programming and it becomes a belief, and they can't outperform that belief system. So my coaches and people that I really respected, developed a sense of insecurity in me. And, I worked on that to change that limiting belief so I could do things like this, which has come live on Facebook in front of hundreds of thousands of millions of people at one time. It allows me to do that now and break out of that trauma and that fear. So where did those beliefs come from? They come from other people. Well, if they come from other people on repetition, then ask yourself, are all your beliefs true? And just by that definition, coming from other people, they can't all be true. It's impossible. So you have to really consider the source of those beliefs. And even people you respect, who you look at with authority in your life, the things they say may not be true. In fact, if we are by definition, by creation, unlimited beings, then what belief is holding you back? Like, what is the definition of unlimited? It's like an infinite possibility. So then you've really got to look at your beliefs and ask yourself the question of, like, are all my beliefs limiting me? Do I truly believe I am unlimited? And if you believe your thoughts create your reality, then wouldn't you become aware and conscious of every thought going through your mind so that you don't let one pass that you don't want to create in your life? You see how powerful your belief system is, and you see how it keeps you stuck. It can keep you stuck if those beliefs are limited. This is why beliefs are so important to understand. So ask yourself, right? What do you believe? Are they limiting beliefs? If you change those beliefs, would your life change? I don't know. Give me a high five, thumbs up in the comments if you believe that your thoughts, if you change your belief system, your results would improve dramatically. All right. So now that we know that we can't outperform our belief system, we're going to have to shift our belief system. So when we talk about creation, what do I mean about creation? Creation is already done. Everything and anything you've ever wanted is available to you. Now, when I heard this, and this was something that I was told as a child, that you can have anything you want, everything is within you, I didn't understand what that meant. I didn't understand it because it wasn't being shown to me and demonstrated by others. And others were relying on stuff outside of themselves when they were talking about this. I didn't understand what it meant until I realized that everything within you you have all the technology and ability to create anything you want in your life. We were designed that way as humans. And so the creative process, having already been done, finished, means that when we create, we bring into our experience that which we observe, we think about, and we want. So creation already being done, we just take a piece of that creation and manifest it in our reality. So this is all about manifestation. And this is why that assumption that you believe your thoughts turn into things, your thoughts create your reality, is extremely important, because you're going to be using your thoughts to create your reality. Now, we create on 3 planes simultaneously. Okay, we have an intellect. We create spiritually, so we have an energy, and then we have a physical where we take action in the 3-dimensional reality. And the more you create on all 3 of those levels, the quicker your manifestation occurs. But you need to understand how each of those pieces fit into the creative process. So the intellectual mind is the part of the mind, and we're going to talk more about the mind tomorrow, but the intellect is about that gaining of information. Okay, so you need to have an understanding. That's where you gain understanding and knowledge. The spiritual component is the deep inner work. It's the energy, it's the feeling, the emotion behind the intellect. It's getting in the spirit of what you're trying to accomplish. That's the energy behind this. And then the physical is taking action. It's the 3-dimensional reality, but they need to work together. So you need to understand. And once you have the understanding, you embody that information inside every cell of your body, in your frequency, your energy. And when you're in that frequency, then you take action. When you take action with the right frequency, the right state of being, you start to create quick and in line with what you truly want. So when I was, when I was going through my life and where I am now at my state of consciousness, I can look back and we can connect the dots. So you can connect the dots looking backwards, but you can't connect them looking forwards. That's what makes this so hard. But when you get to where you want to get to, you'll be able to look back and understand why everything happened the way it did. So I can look at my past experiences with back pain, why they happened, in succession the way they did, why my life went the way it did, and why I ended up where I was. I look at soccer, the same thing. I can look back and see, how the universe was just allowing me and delivering me opportunities to continue to play until I got to the highest level I possibly could with the state of being I was in. And then purchasing our office building, purchasing our cottage, I can see why certain situations happened that brought us to the eventual realization that we could purchase those. So connecting those dots looking back, you can see how the creative process looking back. So everything happens by law, by principle. It's the way the universe is designed. It's the way it works. And when you understand that, you can apply this consciously. So as I said, I want you to understand that you already know how to create in your life intellectually, energetically, and physically, because that's how it happens. It's just that you are doing it unconsciously. So in these 3 days, I want to show you how to do this so you can consciously choose whatever goal, whatever life you want, and then start achieving it. Start chipping away at that vision until that whole life is realized in your awareness. So to start, what I want to do is what we need to do is we need to shift you out of this frequency of this state of want, okay, this state of lack. Because when you're in the state of want or lack, you're functioning in a state of stress and survival. And when you're in a state of stress and survival, it's not a time to create. And it's no different than your ancestors being chased by the saber-toothed tiger. They're getting ready to run, fight, or hide from this threat. But nowadays, we don't have things in our life that are going to kill us, but we do have things in our life that stress us out, that cause us to turn on that stress response by thought alone, and that further creates more of the results we don't want, because it focuses us on our circumstances and results that we don't want. And when we, like I said, where you put your focus, where you put your awareness, what goes there? Your energy. So you start to create from a state of lack, which is more lack. So I want you to take your attention off what you don't want, and I want you to start putting it on what you do want. Because the moment you shift your energy to what you do want, and you shift your energy and your focus to the experience of that want, your energy starts to go there, and it flips you from survival to creation. It moves you from a state of attracting more of what you don't want and starts to attract into your life what you do want. So we're going to shift your consciousness, your awareness to what you do want. That's the first step in creation. We got to get you into a creative state. Got to get you out of this fear, out of this lack, out of this, constant wanting to this knowing and understanding of what it is you truly do want. That's what makes this process really fun. Okay, we're going to talk about goals in a little bit, and that's really going to be where you're going to set up for going after what you do want. So when you're in your life right now, before we've been talking, you've been really focused on your circumstances in your life. And this is what we've been conditioned and programmed to do, to look at the results and to focus on them. And so, as I said, it flips us into that state of stress and survival, which puts more focus onto the circumstances, more frustration, anger, unworthiness. Those feelings are because you're thinking about those circumstances that you have. And the problem with that is it puts you in a thinking, feeling loop. And so the feelings cause you to think similar thoughts related to the results that you're currently getting, which then causes you to create more of those results. So you think things like, I'm not good enough. Every time I try, I fail. I'm going to look for a different strategy to try and force this thing to happen. And so when you look for the same things, another strategy to fix, and that's what I was doing in my life, right? Is I was looking for things outside of me to try and fix my feeling inside of me. Right? And that's what you're going to do here. This creative state that you're going to shift to is moving from, and this is very basic physics, okay? We're not getting anywhere complicated. I know physics calculations are crazy, but I love physics because it truly are the principles and the simplicity of creation and life. But the great way to say it is we're conditioned to live, many of us, from a cause and effect. So the cause being the results in your life that you're focusing on. That's the cause of the effect, which is how you feel. And so it gives you the feeling of lack, of limitation, of unworthiness, of dissatisfaction, of anger, of frustration, of not being good enough, of being a failure. Right? That gives that effect, which causes you to think similar thoughts, right? And then give you the same feelings that cause you to get the same actions. That's the Newtonian Cartesian model of reality. That's the traditional physics of matter. That's why I called this masterclass Mind to Matter, not matter to mind. The Newtonian way is matter to mind. It's your outside controls your thinking. Your results control your thinking. But the creative process I'm going to teach you is the quantum model of reality, where you cause an effect. You are the source of the cause. You're thinking. You're creating the effect in your life, which is the results you see. By how you think, how you feel, and how you act, that creates your reality. So Dr. Joe Dispenza says it perfectly. Your personality creates your personal reality. And your personality is what is made up of what you think, how you act, and what you feel. And so in order to change, in order to transform your life, you have to create a different personality. That means you have to become a completely different person. And that's what makes creation so difficult, makes change so difficult, is a lot of people try to change their life by being the same person, and you can't do it. You have to be willing to die of your old self in order to express your new self. And when you start to express your new self, the results in your life, the circumstances, your environment starts to match that new person. Does that make sense? Is everyone understanding that? Give me a thumbs up if that was clear and concise. And I'm going to have planned redundancy here. I'm going to say things over and say them in slightly different ways so that you can really grasp this understanding. Okay, personality is your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Bob calls it your attitude. It's your thoughts, feelings, and actions. So you got to have a different attitude, a different personality. You got to become a different person. And it's the funnest thing in the world, because when your reality starts to match who you are, it's incredible to see the life you can live. In the beginning, it's painful. I have to say that. People start to drop away out of your life. When I started to change, I lost part of my family. They disappeared. And I think they thought I was nuts because they were stuck in the old model of reality. And so, but then as time went on and I continued to be authentic of who I was, authentic with who I was, my higher self, and I continued, they slowly have come back, starting to see the benefit. Yeah, Ryan, it's a lot of what most people are experiencing right now. When you look at the consciousness of this world, right? You look at the politics, you look at the money or the financial world, you look at the political world, you look at the healthcare system, you look at the school system. Those old models are starting to disassemble, and there's new models that are starting to come. We're creating new models that make the old models obsolete. You don't have to change anything. You just have to become someone different and watch your life change. And yes, definitely connect and share this with me. It's absolutely life-changing. So really important. You're going from the old way, the old model of creation, which is cause and effect, to the new model of reality, which is the quantum model of reality, which is causing an effect. You are going to be the cause of the effects you're going to see in your life. Whew. That's probably what got me into this stuff, is I absolutely love science and technology and understanding, but to understanding at this level where it's like, I can talk to anybody about frequency, energy, all of this manifestation, God, in a way in which people can understand it now, because the science is so profound and it's starting to prove. See, I was a big science guy, and some of you might be this way. Very analytical, very science, and I always waited for the science to come out before it would prove what the reality was. When I got into this quantum model of reality, I realized that science just proves what already people have experienced. So when someone tells me they did something, now I just believe because the evidence is in their change. And because my life had that experience, yours can too, because we are designed the same. Man, look outside in the parking lot. They're all cars there, right? They're all vehicles. slightly different models, but they all got 4 tires and wheels. They got 2, they got doors, they got steering wheels and seats and stuff. So they're all vehicles, but they're all, slightly different models. Us as humans are identical. Okay. We all have similar parts. Okay. We got 2 arms, we got a brain, we got hearts, livers, the whole bit. We are in these vehicles. And this is really important. I want you to understand this. You are a spiritual being having a temporary human experience. You're not human having a temporary spiritual experience. Your spirit having a temporary human experience. Temporary. So that means we've got to make the best of this temporary human existence. But what it means is these bodies that we are all in, that our spirits are in, that our energy and that the source is in, whatever word you want to call, I call it God, when that is in us. Okay? When you take that out, this body, this vehicle just lies flat. Okay? It's a vehicle that propagates us through this 3-dimensional reality to experience this thing called life. But we're all the same. That means we're not that unique in the sense that we can't create the same way. We need all these different diets and all these other. No. There's a designed way our human bodies were designed to function. Okay? And once you understand that, you can create the life of your dreams. That's what happened in my world. And that's what's going to happen in your world if you stick with it. Okay. We got about 13 more minutes. So I'm going to get to the last part of what I want to talk about today, and that's goals. Because what I want you to do at the end here is I want you to set a goal. And this is because this is what's going to take your focus off what you don't want, your current results and circumstances and situations, and start focusing on what you do want. Okay, because those old circumstances, the current ones you're experiencing, are giving your current level of feeling, your current emotions that you're experiencing are related to the experiences and the results in your life you're having now. But the way the brain is designed and organized is that you can utilize your imagination and you can visualize what it is you truly do want in your life. And you can get emotionally involved in that because your mind, your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. It's the same thing. It's as if it's experiencing that imagined reality. That's visualization, that's focus, that's meditation. So I'm going to get you to get your goals nailed down so that it can start focusing you on what you do want. And don't get hung up on, well, I don't know what I want. I don't know what this. We're going to get you to pick one. I'm going to help you with that, okay? First things first. We are goal-seeking organisms. That's one of our design. We are looking to achieve goals. And why is that? Why is that? Because as humans, we're designed to evolve, to continue growing. We're goal-seeking organisms. So we better have goals. If you don't have a goal, you're working against yourself right there. So what is a goal? Everyone will say, oh, it's to gain a car, boats, to have a better life, health, more money. And it's true, you might accumulate those things. You might get those things. But the true purpose of a goal is to make us grow. You have to grow into a person in order to achieve that thing. Because if you could gain it now, you would have it. So you have to grow out of the person. It's like saying a millionaire. If you want $1 million, you can have $1 million, but you need to think like a millionaire. Not like someone that only earns $10,000. Right? So you have to become the millionaire before you can achieve that. So you got to think, act, and feel differently. Okay? So the purpose of the goal is, yes, for us to grow. It's like a destination. It's like a target, right? So you always want that target there, so you can always be looking at moving towards it, right? It's just like when you want to go somewhere, Google Maps, you pop it in there and it shows you the course there, right? You got to have that destination before you get any type of course delivered, any type of pathway. And the true creation is the pathway is revealed once you have the want and the desire, not the other way around. Okay? So it's a destination, it's a target. The purpose to make us grow. Now, Bob, my mentor, talks about 3 different types of goal: A goal, B goal, and C goal. And some of you know what the A, B, and C goals are. So the A goal is a goal that you already know how to achieve. And Bob uses the example of a car. If you're driving Yeah, driving a Charger like myself, and you bought that Charger new, and you're like, I want a new car, I want to buy a new Charger. That's not a true goal. There's going to be no growth there. Why? Because I've already achieved it. So it's not a goal it doesn't satisfy the definition of a goal, which is to make me grow, because I've already achieved it. No inspiration there. Doesn't mean I don't need a new car. It just means it doesn't constitute a goal. Those who move from an A-type goal, they'll move to a B-type goal. And the B-type goal is the one where everyone thinks, oh, I know exactly if this happens, that happens, I'll achieve this goal. So it's like their plan is laid out perfectly. If all this goes according to plan, I'll achieve the goal. Thing about that is there is no inspiration, because everything's been already figured out, and it's not going to get you up in the morning, and often those just fizzle out. And that's because you think you know how to achieve it. So the A-type goal and the B-type goal are not the goals you want to set. The type of goal you want to set is what Bob calls a C-type goal. And these are your fantasies and your wants. These are the things that really get you excited. These are the things that kind of get you tingling a bit, and they are big, and they are ginormous, and they need to be, because they have to inspire you. Inspire, put you in spirit. Inspire you, right? Express your spirit more. Inspire you to go after them every moment of your day. If it doesn't inspire you, the moment a barrier comes, a roadblock comes, you'll just stop and go back to where you were. It's got to inspire you to help push you through those things. It should scare you. It's part of the human process is fear. The dialogue, and we'll talk about this, I believe, a couple days, is the fear is there, and it needs to be there. You just got to change the dialogue and go, if something's scaring you, it's to go, it's to move. It's good. It's an opportunity for you to grow. Okay, so it should scare you. And you should not know how to achieve it. That's what makes this so much fun, is that you're going to grow into the person. The pathway is going to be delivered to you in time as you trust and you get more emotionally involved in that process. And I'm going to tell you what to do tonight for your homework to help you get into that. Okay. So you want to set the C-type goal. It's a want, it's a fantasy. If you don't know what you want, the first thing you do tonight, get quiet, glass of wine, beer, water, juice, tea, coffee, sit there in silence and just start writing a laundry list of what it is you truly want. Just write it out, a laundry list. And just let it flow. Don't have any limitations. Don't think of anything, how much money you have, time you have, kids, family, anything. Just start writing. Okay? And if anyone wants this, please just comment in the comments here. Comment purpose. There's a great article I have on purpose, vision, and goals. And it really, and I'm going to finish here, it really brings clarity to the difference between those three things. But you need to have all three of them. So purpose comes from your unique talents, your unique abilities. It's true to who you are. It's usually of a deeper service-oriented. Like for me, mine are to give, love, help, and serve. That's my purpose. I'm here to give. I'm here to love people. I'm here to serve people. And I'm here to ultimately do it through helping. And so that's my purpose. So my purpose is my why. Your purpose is your why. From your purpose, you then need a what. Okay? You need a what. And that's your vision. That's a description of how you're going to live a life on purpose. So what is your life like? And it's fun when you write this out, your life, it's really fun and it's big. It's like, what am I doing for work? What am I doing as a father? What am I doing with my health, with my relationships? What am I doing on my free time? So it's designing your whole life. That's your vision, how you're going to deliver your why. Okay? What your purpose looks like in a life And that's you to design that. You can be anything you want it to be as long as it's on your purpose. And then finally, we get to our goals. Our goals are picking parts of that vision and chipping away at the vision. The vision contains all your goals. It's the how. So the purpose is the why, the vision is the what, and the goal is the how. So you pick one of those goals, anyone, because once you achieve all of them, you've realized your vision and they're all on purpose. Does that make sense? Is that clear? That's really where I wanted to get to today, is I wanted you guys to understand that your goal is what's going to start the process of you getting into that frequency of creation. Oh, thanks, babe. Thanks, Ryan. Thank you so much. And Ryan, I'll send that to you for sure. So glad you guys are here and you could make it. It's an honor to have you there. So on that note, homework. So tonight, here's what I want you to do. So I do want you to take and put pen to paper. Get a journal and start. This is your day one, not one day anymore. Oh yeah, I'll get to this one day. I'm just going to listen to Garrett and just going to take this. It's not that anymore. It's time to act. You've done it long enough. You deserve this. It's your God-given right to experience this. If not now, when? If not you, who? So tonight, I want you to write out a laundry list of goals. Whatever it is you want. And then I want you to pick one. And I want you to put it in a statement that is not a want or a lack, but a statement of already having. So I am so happy and grateful now that, then your goal. Now that I earn $100,000 a month. Now that I earn $100 a month. Now that I have lost X amount of, or that I weigh X amount, or that I have this health, or that I've met the partner of my dreams. Whatever that goal is, pick one. Okay? And write it out. I am so happy and grateful now that. Once you've got that, and this is where it gets energetic. Okay, so you've just got the intellect, the understanding. You're now going to get, you've taken action in writing it out. Now you're going to get energetic. So you're going to take that want and you're going to close your eyes. Okay, and every day, right before bed, and right upon awakening in the morning, you're going to close your eyes and you're going to imagine for 5 minutes of you in that goal, of you living that goal. And you're not just going to do it because you got to get it done. You're going to feel it. You know, what are you feeling when you're in that goal? What are your thoughts when you're there? You know, get all your senses. What do you smell? What do you hear? What do you feel? What do you see? Who are you with? You get the more vivid, the more clear, the more concise your goal is, the quicker it develops. Why? Because the universe will deliver it quicker. Why is that? It's kind of like when you go to a restaurant and you want to order. If you said to the server, yes, I'd like food. Well, they'd be like, what food? And you said, I want meat. Well, what type of meat? I mean, you can see how it gets frustrating, how it takes longer. People don't know what to bring you. Universe is the same way. It loves clarity. And the other thing it loves is speed. Okay? So one of the things we were talking about when we went back to beliefs is the way to change a belief very quickly is to embody it. Take action on a new belief. Right? What's a belief? You know, I accumulate information. You know, the more I know, the better. I got to know more, got to know more, got to know more. I'm going to take imperfect action. That's a belief that's going to serve me. All right, you're going to take imperfect action. Act now. That reinforces that new belief. Okay? Perfect. We're just coming up on the hour. It's 11 o'clock. That was a lot of information. Go back and listen to this again. Put it on repeat. You'll hear it from another level of consciousness. Carolyn's here after doing months of work, and she's getting this from another level of consciousness, another level of awareness. Right? The more you listen, the more you hear, you can always learn more. All right? I'm absolutely grateful and thankful for the time that you spent with me here. Thank you for joining me. Share this with others that you believe would benefit, that they would help. That also proves to the universe that you're giving, loving, helping, and serving as well. And that will put you into the universe's, you'll be acting like the universe and it'll deliver. Okay? My name, for those of you who don't know, is Dr. Garrett. Thank you for joining me. Love you all. I will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. for the day 2. Another action-packed. So I will see you tomorrow for those of you who can get here. See you, everyone. Have an awesome day.